Well, hello again. What have we got in this video? Well, I was a naughty boy and spent more money, which I didn't intend to. I went to the Canterbury Model Railway exhibition. Right. Now, I had no intention of spending money, but you know what it is. Credit card in my wallet. So I got there looking round, I was nosy, and I happened to, I had no intention, but not even looking for one of these. I don't know why I bought it really, but it's not in the box now because I've got it on the track. I bought this, right, and it seems it's never been, it's excellent condition. I'm sure it's never been out of the box. All the little spare parts were still sealed in the the sealed containers. I tore the bloody box myself, accidentally getting it out. But one thing was weird. There's nothing on that. Nothing on there, right? But anyway, it's a Class 411 4-car EMU this time, not a DMU, EMU, and DCC ready, and I paid 150 quid for it. Anyway, so I'll get it out. Now it's a 21 pin decoder. First time I've actually, I've got other things with 21 pin decoders in, but they're sound things, and I've usually bought them and they've come with sound. Well, I had to buy a separate ordinary, I didn't want sound in it, 21 pin decoder. That was about £31 I think, from Vales of Sheffield. But the decoder I don't think it makes any difference. The decoder they mentioned in the instructions you can't seem to get hold of. So the nearest one, what they recommend in it, was a Bachmann decoder. Now when you read these decoders, all it's got is lighting functions. So it's only, you've got 21 pin is capable of doing, how many functions? About 29 functions or something. And it's all we're using is FO and F1. So for the tail, head and tail lamps and the carriage lighting. So it seems a bit of a waste really, but they're not easy to wire extra things in yourself, because I've read a lot of the things, there's tabs on it, but copper tabs on it. Well, I thought it looks like you can solder wires to, but all the advice I've seen on the internet is do not solder to the actual decoder. Follow the wires through. Well, there is no wires, it's all circuit board. You plug it in, it's all circuit board. There's no real places to add any extra features. But I'm sure I'll find a way of doing it, I'm sure. But it's a bit disappointing, because I'll show you. Let's take this off of the stand. Now, carriage lighting. Right, let's have a look at this. Now that's it there. Right? Now you can the front. There's lighting in that front carriage and it's on. Well, you can hardly see it with the lights on in the carriage. The second and third carriage have a bit of lighting, reasonable, and the last carriage you can hardly see any light on that at all. But it's on, I can tell you it's switched on. And I'll bring that round. Hang on, let's stop this. Right, now then, as you can see, the front of it, you got the number 50. As you could see the lighting looking down along it like that. The driving carriage is very dim. It's got lighting, but it's not very bright. You've got the next two carriages are not too bad. Right, but they don't show up that much when you've got the lighting on in the garage. And then the final one, again, it's dim, it's a bit of lighting on the end here. And all it's got on the end is the two bars, although you can change that, put a number in there if you want. So I think I'm going to have to do some work on the lighting to get it how I want it. But apart from that, it's not a bad. It's an excellent runner. It runs perfectly. Let's get it running round. Really is really smooth, real smooth running train. Oh, didn't have the point set right for that. Let's come back. Let's try and set the point right now. Here we come. Stop. What are we doing? No, it is a really smooth runner. It's coming through the tunnel now. Really smooth runner. So, well, that's it. Now, the next time you see it, I'll probably have some better lighting in it. And hopefully it'll still work right. Yeah, so there we go. Now then, all it had was a tiny LED that end, and a tiny LED this end, just there, and then this silver mirror strip on top of that, which was supposed to reflect the light all the way, to even the light out all the way along the carriage, but it doesn't work. That's a reflective thing. It's supposed to reflect that, and then I suppose all these bumps on it was supposed to reflect the light down, but it doesn't work. I've taken that out. That's come out of the carriage. That's screwed in the bottom of the carriage there. Right, those two screws. Now what I've done, I've put a little LED strip, stuck it onto the original one, so it'll still be using them two little LEDs, the original, but I've stuck another strip down between there and there, and I'm now going to solder the two wires onto these brass tabs at the end, and that should give me a better lighting. If it's too bright, I will have to add some resistors into about 2000 ohm resistor. Then there's the back carriage now, with a decent lighting in it. Right. Backlight still comes on. That's that, and then compare that to that. You can see it's a lot duller, but it's acceptable, isn't it? And if I do this one up the front here next. Right, now this is the driving coach. Right, remove the body. I've removed these bits, which is the lighting. Right, and then see how that had two little copper bits on there. Those two little copper bits pressed on those two little copper bits there when you put it on. So what I've done is I've made a strip up in there. Well, I don't know if it's going to work. I've got a bit of this white plastic card, a small bit, cut it to that length, and then I stuck a bit of this brass tape on it each side, as you can see, to make the tags, and then soldered my wires to that. Now whether that's going to have enough flex on it when I connect it back onto here, whether there'll be enough flex, I don't know, but that's it. I've put some passengers in it, and I'm now going to try and get it back together. Right, now this is me after doing my lighting upgrade to the front and last carriage. I haven't done the middle two carriages. They're not that bright. They're not as bright as what the back carriage is now. For instance, you can see a difference in the back carriage. I've had to put my own lighting in that. But it's the funny thing, the way they've wired up these lights. Now on the front carriage here, you've got two copper connectors. So when you put the carriage, the top back on the base, it gives two brass connectors the lights connect to. And I've measured the voltage across there, and you're getting 13.5 volts coming up there. And then when you take the connector in the roof for where this one, when you take this off where the lights connect, you're only getting 7.5 volts in these next two. So the light, you can't get the lights any brighter than what the 7.5 volts will give you. So anyway, I've left the middle two as they were. Then what I had to do, this was miles too bright, so I put a 2k resistor in this one just to dull it down a bit. It's still brighter than the middle two. The last one, I'm not sure, I didn't measure the voltage across that, but that is just got the my ordinary little strip lights in it. Took their existing ones out because it had next to no lighting in it. Took mine in it, and that's giving a reasonable light, a bit brighter than these middle two, but I'm going to leave it at that. Right, so this is without the lights on in my garage. This is just lights coming through a window. So if I put the lights on in the garage, it doesn't show up as much as that. But I'll put the lights on in the garage now. Hang on. With the lights on in the garage, because it doesn't show, it's a light. You can see it's a light, but they don't show up as, especially the middle two, don't show up as much. Although they do show better from the other side, because this side, these two have got the gangways, walk-through gangways in them, whereas the end two haven't. But if you view this from the other side, the lights look slightly brighter. But I'm going to leave it at that now. I think that'll have to do. They still operate. You can still turn them on and off via the F1. If I turn them off via F1, they still go. Still corresponds to that. So, right. So I'll send it running round the track. The other way. Right, send it the other way. As you see, when it gets round by the station, I'll stop it and look at it from that side. Right, now I'll get a bit nearer. And you can see the lights are on, but the first and last guys are now brighter than the middle two, where you couldn't hardly see the lights in the end two before at all. So anyway, that's much of an improvement. So I'm quite happy with that now. I'm going to leave it at that. There we are. One little tip for anyone with one of these: if you're trying to take the body off of the first coach with the head code on it, you're better off, that comes out the head code, take the head code out first, because that helps, makes it harder to get that end of the carriage off of the frame, off of the base. If you take that out first, it makes it a little bit easy. They're all held on by clips, and they're very fiddly to get apart, to separate the top from the chassis. So I think I might end up with a little end of train lamp next, putting an end of train lamp on it. But that'll be my next job. I'll put passengers in it as well, in some of the, not in all the coaches. Bit of a job to see as it goes by, but I've put passengers in it. Then one other thing I did was with me class 150, which is coming down now, I've added a head code light. As you can see here, the head code light. Right, that was just, it's only on the front I've done that. Right. Well, I'm going to end this video here, so hope you found it interesting, and see you next time. Bye for now.